Hey guys, Fox here. It's time to do a Game Gods video so I can put all this stuff away. And I'm thinking this should be the last one for the year. As far as future videos, I'm thinking about doing a game room tour here to end out the year, which is usually the time of year when I do one. But I don't think I've done one in probably 3 years, so I think it'll be a good time to do one. So anyways, let's get to the gots here. Let's start off with some Game Boy. And I picked up a copy of Pinocchio. We got Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing. Those are a couple I needed for the collection. And I also picked up the Rugrats movie. I actually played that game when I was younger, so well, younger, I was a preteen, but whatever, you know, Nickelodeon days. A game that I'm surprised I don't have in my collection, but really wanted to have in my collection. It'd be nice to find this box if I can one day, but I'll take the cartridge only for now, because I played this one. I remember playing this one as a kid, so really happy to have that. And it's Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Often seen as probably the worst game in the trilogy, but honestly it's not bad at all, so that should speak volumes. For the NES, I picked up a copy of Trog and its manual. Found this for pretty cheap. If you remember from a Game Gods video, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before that, from Bublin, I got this box off of him. So now I can complete it. This is a game I traded away to another YouTuber a long time ago. Remember Crack Lotus? Yeah, we all remember him. But I missed it because it was such a damn good game. But I finally found it in my local game store, and that's Monster Tale. This was a fantastic game. It's like a Metroidvania style game, but it did a really good job incorporating both screens to one another. So it was a ton of fun. So I highly suggest this game, but it's going up in value quite a bit. So I was lucky to find one, I think. I guess I'm going to do Switch next because that's what's here. Let's move on to a limited run release, and that is Blaster Master 03. I have the Trilogy. Guess how many of them I have played? None, but I really want to, so don't get me wrong. I like the original Blaster Master, and these look like true faithful games, so I can't wait to dive into the Trilogy. And speaking of the Trilogy, I got the slip box that will hold all 3 of them. So I thought this was pretty cool. Be a nice thing to hold them, a little collectible, if you will. So, although when they're sealed, they're pretty tight. But that's okay. That's fine. Another limited run release, one I really wanted to pick up, that I always wanted to play, because it is a Way Forward title, and that is Double Dragon Neon. Check out this artwork. Amazing. I love the artists at Way Forward. They're some of my favorite. They do some of the best character designs and stuff. I absolutely like it. Brotacular. So can't wait to play this. I hear this is actually really good, as opposed to the Double Dragon 4 release, which I hear is okay, but I hear this one's pretty damn good. So can't wait to play that one, and that one's pretty hefty. It's heavy. It's got a thick book in there. One that I was really interested in because I thought the artwork was absolutely amazing, and it's an RPG. And it was on one of the Nintendo Directs, I believe. But it came out pretty quietly, and I hear it's mediocre reviews, but I'm one to judge for myself. And that's Astria Ascending. This artwork is really good. That's going to be a theme here in this Game Gods video. Amazing cover art on some of these games. So yeah, that one looks really cool. Don't know much about it. I watched a video on it, and just the presentation, the artwork of this game is going to just draw me in to at least play through a good chunk of it. So I'm looking forward to eventually diving into that, like a lot of the games that I buy. Picked this one up from I Am 8-Bit. I love funky arcade style golf games, and this is a golf game for people who hate golf. I don't hate golf, by the way, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think this is up the alley of like how people enjoyed Golf Story, so I think this one would be just as enjoyable. And that is What the Golf. Looks pretty fun. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be really weird, but I hear it is good. Excited this got a release, and was really surprised that it did. You know, Limited Run did this one as well, like they do most of the games that I buy nowadays. But it's the Classics collection for Doom. It includes on the cartridge Doom, Doom 2, and Doom 3. That's fucking amazing. I have yet to find, you know, like, let's say a modern day release of the original Dooms that weren't like download. There was that Slayers edition or whatever it was that had like Doom 2016 with it, but you had to download all these. But this is awesome to have all three of these games on the cart. I played hours and hours of Doom 1 and 2. Didn't really play much of 3, but I loved Doom 1 and 2. So that was an easy buy for me. I got one PS2 game. Yeah. Not a lot of titles on the PS2 I'm hunting for, but this was a big one on the list. It's a tactical RPG that is just gorgeous to look at. I don't think... Is this a Vanillaware title? Sorry, I'm looking real quick. I don't think so. But the artwork is reminiscent of it. Anyway, it's Eternal Poison. The sucker is getting expensive. Really wanted to add one to the collection, so I put a watch on eBay just to see what would pop up. And this one popped up one morning, and it was reasonable. Let's say that. It was a reasonable price, you know, a sub 100. So I was like, I got to jump on it. I don't think this one's going to go anywhere. See, here's another great cover art. But yeah, so this is a strategy or tactical RPG. One I've always wanted to play. I couldn't tell you much more about it. I don't know if the story's really any good. Comes with a bonus CD, and this one was indeed complete. The manual and the bonus CD. So, super happy to have this. One day I'll bust out the PS2 to play that. Alright, we got some newer games, and then it looks like I'm going back to some retro stuff. A couple PS4 titles. Both are Kimco RPGs. Haha! Limited Run keeps making these, you know, and they actually print these like to like 3,000 or 4,000 copies for these mediocre Kimco RPGs. But I'm just a sucker for them. They're fairly cheap, and I just think they're kind of a collectible item to me. Very basic, like RPG makers style games, but they usually have pretty good artwork and good character designs, and the stories are, you know, well enough. The first one is Midden Tower, and I can't tell you a whole lot about them, but they are turn-based RPGs. The battle system looks pretty cool. Character designs are fine. Kind of got a retro feel to it, but I think that's more because it's kind of like an RPG maker style stuff. The other one is Monster Viator. And on the back, here we go. Same kind of look. That's what most of them look like, but they're not long, and they are enjoyable enough if you want to play a new RPG that looks like something from the 90s. Two PS5 games. This one I've been playing a lot of with my friends lately. It's a lot of fun, and that is Tribes of Midgard. This is up to a 10-player co-op game. And think of it like an action resource management tower defense. And you have 15 days to try to get to Finner and beat the game essentially. While you fight Jotuns, and there's all kinds of Viking references. It's a lot of fun. You grab resources, you upgrade your equipment, you also upgrade your town so it can defend itself each night from the hell things. It's a lot of fun, especially when you have a lot of people with you, and that's what you can do solo play on this, which is fine, but it's a lot more fun to play multiplayer, and I'm having a really good time with it. All right, next up is let's call it a unique release for A Plague's Tale: Innocence. Look at this cover. Freaking amazing. Well done. I absolutely love it. It's so good. So this was just a special unique release from Focus, the guys who published the game here, their store, and they sold this special cover edition of the game. I saw it. It's a game I've always wanted to pick up and try, but I saw this cover and it wasn't ridiculous. I think it's $30, and I was like, yes. All right, I'll finally pick it up. Also came with a couple art cards here. I'll show you real quick, which were thrown in for free. We got this skull guy here. I don't know any of these characters. This is the main character. I know that. All right, this girl. And this picture of this dude. I haven't played it yet, guys, so give me a little slack there. Up next, I got a couple Saturn games. One is a disc variant for one of my favorite games of all time, and one is one I've been looking for a long time, but I finally found a disc-only copy that was pretty cheap, so I went ahead and jumped on it just so I can have the game in the collection. As far as the disc variant, it is for Dragon Force. So I have the one with Astia on it. It's just this big green-haired goddess lady. And I got this for really cheap. The guy was selling it cheap because he couldn't get it to work because it had scratches on it. And I was like, I'll give you $40 for it and I'll gamble on it. He's like, fine. So I took it and I tried it myself. It didn't work. Then I took it to one of my local game stores that has a really good disc resurfacing machine. And I said, do the lowest setting possible. I know these Sega Saturn CDs can be quite finicky with resurfacing. So I was like, I just want to do the lowest possible. He did it. It looked like it removed almost all those surface scratches. Brought it home, popped it in, worked fine. So super happy. Really good gamble there. There are 4 disc variants, by the way, for the game. So I'll try to get the other 2, but I'm in no rush because they are expensive. And as for the other game that I got disc only, that is Guardian Heroes. Been looking for this one for forever, because I just don't want to pay top dollar. I would like to find a deal. And I sent an offer to this guy for, I believe, $90 for this disc only copy. And he's like, sure. I was happy. Works fine. Now I have Guardian Heroes in the collection. Alright, a couple boxed Game Boy releases here. We've got FIFA International Soccer. This one is complete. Not much of a soccer or football fan as everybody else in the world calls it, but their video games are pretty fun. So I will always dabble in kind of an arcade style soccer game. Keeping on the sports trend for the Game Boy, I also picked up Konami NFL Football. I had this one as a kid and played it a lot. I actually really like the cover of this game, just all the NFL teams' helmets. Of course, this was the early 90s, so you're missing quite a few teams, as you can see. And you can see some old helmet designs, like Broncos, the Buccaneers, you have the Bucco Bruce there, you have the Red Falcon helmet. The Oilers are still there, the red Bills helmet, the old The whole donkeys, I call them donkeys, Broncos, the Patriots too. So it's pretty cool. It's a nice throwback. It is a very bare bones football game for the Game Boy. Tecmo Bowl is probably a little better, but it was serviceable. It was playable, and I played quite a bit of it. So good pickup there. I got another NES game. This one's complete in box. I'm a sucker for the Simpsons games, no matter how bad they are, but I enjoy playing them. So I found this one up in Denver for a really good price, so I was happy to pick it up. And that is Krusty's Fun House. This is not one of the better ones. I like Bart's Nightmare and Bartman, so this one is okay though. He plays Krusty, but it's a pretty good time. I love the Simpsons game. It's more for nostalgia, and it's fun to pop in and play for about 10-15 minutes. All right, up next we got the well, it's video game stuff, but not software. Anyway, Zelda 35th anniversary, as most of you know, has come out, and I was able to pre-order one of these, and it came in. So very happy. This one's pretty spectacular. Haven't opened it yet though. But it is the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. This is really cool. You know, the Mario one was really cool too, but this one is honestly way better. Being able to play the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening on here is awesome. It also comes with Vermin, old Game & Watch game, but I think Link stands in and plays in there, and a couple of a clock and a timer. So really awesome. Do you think they're going to do one of these every year? Maybe. I mean, next year I think is a Kirby anniversary. You know, they could put some Kirby games on here. You know, a couple of the Game Boy ones, and probably Kirby's Adventure for the NES. I know these Game & Watches are kind of limited with buttons, so let's kind of stick to Game Boy and NES games. So that would be cool though. A Kirby one would be awesome. Found this at a Target. Was happy because these were going up in price, but I kind of figured Nintendo would do more print runs of these, and that is the Metroid Dread Amiibos with Samus and the Emmy there. So have yet to play Dread. I know I'm kind of busy playing SMT5 and a little Tribes Midgard, but don't worry, this will not go very long without being played. Game that I think was most anticipated for me this year was Shin Megami Tensei 5, and this is the Fall of Man Premium Edition. Had to wait a little extra longer because I got this pre-order through Video Games Plus, which is a Canadian company, and apparently all the Canadian copies didn't come in for like a few days, so I didn't get started on this till almost a week after its release, but that's okay. I'm still having a lot of fun. I'm not going to go through this. You could probably find unboxings of this everywhere, but it came with a cool little like a sling bag there. You can easily fit a Switch and some other stuff in there. A pretty sizable soundtrack. The steelbook is pretty cool, and that Forbidden Book of Demons is really awesome because it has a bunch. It's just like an art book of all the demons. It's really cool. That's a great collectible. That's a really good special edition. From Limited Run, finally decided to make their own book on how they got started and their first year of games. Is it a year? Or is it a couple years? It's the first 2 years. So we all know they started with Breach and Clear on the Vita, and then started releasing some other stuff like Saturday Morning RPG, which is one I really would like to have in the collection, but haven't seen it. But they released this book, a little compendium, or the complete run as they call it, for the years 2015, 2016. So it's talking about the games that they released over that period, and here they all are. So, which I don't think I own any of these first 2 years. I was aware of Limited Run and what they were doing, but during these 2 years, it was really hard to get these games. I mean, extremely hard because, you know, they were really doing it in a very limited fashion, you know, 3,000-4,000 copies, and they would do, you have 2 opportunities to pre-order those games from them, and they would sell out in a minute. So it was really hard to get them. It wasn't until years later that they adopted the open pre-order period, which is fantastic. And I think almost most companies should do that instead of limiting themselves. I'll crack open a couple pages here. So we got a toy for the 3DS. So they just talk about each game and the stuff that was included in them. They have screenshots. Got Lost Sea. And let's pull up another one. Okay, popular one here. Shantae, Risky's Revenge. Really good Shantae game, by the way. So it's pretty cool. And then they talk about some of the other extra goodies that you could pre-order when they did their little Game Boy box collectors. That was before they started actually making retro cards, because, you know, they re-released the original Shantae on the Switch and I think PS5, PS4, shit like that. But they also released it on the Game Boy, and or Game Boy Color rather. And I was really excited. I bought one of those immediately because now I can actually play the original ROM on my Game Boy Color. So that was exciting. A much cheaper way to play it on the Game Boy Color, because that game is ridiculous. At least $700 just for a cartridge. So anyway, last thing is the Pokemon Nintendo Switch Lite. This one is gorgeous. I like it a lot because of this graphite, like gray shell, and the black buttons. That matches so much better than that light gray. These black buttons look great. I pre-ordered this through Best Buy actually. So I was very happy to get it, and I have the system over here too. I collect the lights apparently. I'm missing the original Pokemon Special Edition they released. Yeah, maybe I'll find a loose one or a used one sometime. Here it is. It's really nice, guys. And it's got like this matte feel to it. So it's got a different feel. It's not super smooth, but it's great. It looks super cool. Here are these Pokemon guys. I'm sorry, I don't remember their names. Probably can't pronounce them either. It's probably on the Switch. Let's see here. Dialga and Palkia. I hope I pronounced those correctly. I haven't picked up Pokemon Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl yet. Just waiting till after the holidays, because usually the family wants me to put a wish list together and I'll throw a few games on there or something like that. So I threw Pokemon on there. Besides, I'm busy with SMT5 anyway. There I am. Yeah, fantastic. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking through the long Gigabots video. Appreciate it. And hope you guys had a good one and enjoyed. Later.